Certainly a pleasure and an honor to have with me right now the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, Mr. Jim Crockett, who just deplaned a couple of hours ago here in Atlanta after an overseas flight from Tokyo, Japan. And Mr. Crockett, of course, I know you heard the word. You were in Japan when you heard the word that Tommy Wildfire Rich had defeated Harley Race for the World Championship in Augusta, Georgia.
And the people in Japan were certainly buzzing about it. Tommy is extremely well known over there, even though he hasn't been there yet. Tommy's reputation is worldwide, and of course his defeating Harley Race Monday night in Augusta proved that his reputation is well deserved.
Certainly no question about that. But on the opposite side of the ledger, Tommy, of course there was a rematch clause that Harley Race has standardized, of course, in all of his contracts. There was a rematch, and the outcome on the flip side was not quite that.
No, so sure wasn't, Gordon. You know, it was Monday night in Augusta. It was like a dream come true, I guess. And, you know, and just like you said, I wrestled Harley Race last night, and I didn't do so good. But, you know, the thing is that, you know, I've been after Harley Race for a long time, and it got to the point I didn't know if I could beat him. So I proved to myself and to all the people that's been behind Tommy Rich that I can beat him. And, you know, I'll get another chance, and I'd just like to thank Mr. Crockett, first of all, you know, for coming by, and, you know, I certainly appreciate him stopping.
The Harley Race has, in fact, regained the World Heavyweight Championship last night in Gainesville.
That's correct, but I believe Tommy is the youngest man ever to hold the NWA Heavyweight Championship, and he's to be highly commended for that.
Well, certainly no question about that, Tommy, and that had to be that ultimate thrill when you stepped into a class of professional wrestlers. It's very elitist indeed.
Well, Gordon, you know, Monday night in Memphis, I mean, still shook up, you know, after it's all happened, you know, in Augusta Monday night. You know, even after it happened, you know, I got up and I knew I'd got the 3 count, but I could, you know, I couldn't even comprehend winning. I didn't realize, and I don't even think the people realized that I'd even won the match until Ronnie West come over and raised my hand, and, you know, that's when I started realizing what had just really happened to Tommy Rich.
Well, I'll tell you what we might do, gentlemen. We might just take a look. Let's journey to Augusta, the 3 of us, and all of you, and we'll take a look at this match as it took place. There we see, of course, the man who has now regained the World Championship for a 6th time, which indeed could be a record, too.
I believe that is the record for holding the NWA Championship.
All right, here we are in Augusta, April 27th, last Monday night, and it's Tommy Rich with a beautiful takedown. And, well, obviously, Tommy, a lot of exciting things going on, and your mind must have been really buzzing at that point in time.
Yes, Gordon, you know, it was, it was one of the biggest crowds that they had in Augusta. And, you know, just like I've said many times, you know, the people was there. They were behind me 100%. And, you know, it was just, you know, I felt it. You know, you feel it when it's there. And I felt like that was going to be my night.
Well, obviously, fate was your night, but here's where he set you for a souffle. You blocked it beautifully, came back over the man, and were stunned here. You were wrestling against the world's finest and certainly one of the most uncannily intelligent men I've ever known.
Yes, sir. You know, that's exactly right, Gordon. You know, Harley's been wrestling for some time longer than myself. You know, he's got a lot more experience. And he's one tough man. I don't think I've wrestled anybody as tough as Harley Race. And, I mean, that goes without saying, or he wouldn't be the World Heavyweight Champion for as long as he has.
Race beginning continuing to press an advantage here. And, Tommy, at this point, did you feel that perhaps the tide was going against you?
Yeah, you know, right here, Gordon, you know, I was about half out, and, you know, all I could hear the people screaming and hollering, go, Tommy, go. And, you know, it just makes you reach down and get a little bit more.
And, of course, you went with the sleeper hold, had Race in trouble here. And, again, you began to think that things were beginning to move your way. However, he was able to escape from that. And both of you battling your way back to your feet. Again, he rolls out of the way. Your right arm was beginning to give you troubles. He came up on the top rope. You caught him. And things were now definitely beginning to look up for Tommy Rich.
That's right here, Gordon. The tide did start changing. And, you know, I don't know where it come from, but I got a little extra. You know, the adrenaline got flowing, and I wasn't going to give up, you know. I just kept going, and I wasn't going to quit.
And, of course, you got the news Monday night, obviously, with a tremendous time lag barrier and everything else. This must have had, as you said earlier, quite a profound effect upon the people in Japan.
Well, it happened Monday night over here, but that was actually Tuesday afternoon in Japan when I heard about it.
And this, of course, then caused Jim Crockett to come hurrying back, and in the process, while you were flying back here to the United States, suddenly the situation is reversed again.
That's correct, Gordon.
Right here, Harley had me down with a suplex, and like I said, Gordon, I don't know where I was getting it at, but I was reaching down, and just every time he caught me, all I could think of was kick out, kick out.
Well, Tommy, I think you typify so many of the young lions in professional sports today. Here he tried to set you with a pile driver, brought you up. That would normally put any competitor out of action, but you had to dig down deep.
Well, that's right, Gordon. Harley, when he gets you down, he stays on you. He's not gonna give you no breathing room. He just hangs back and he waits for his chance. And once he gets you, he goes all the way with it. And just like anything he can do to beat you, he's gonna do it.
And again, he tried to set up with that high vertical suplex. Again, a beautiful block by you. You countered him extremely well. Caught him with that vertical body block.
Right there, Gordon. He suddenly I got behind him and. All I could think of was hitting that rope, and when I come off, he was looking around, and I caught him with a press. See right there, you can see, Gordon, I didn't even know him. When he come over and handed me the belt, right there is when I finally realized what had happened to Tommy Rich.
And it had happened indeed. Tommy Rich joining a very select few to ever win the NWA World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. As we said, of course, unfortunately, well, let's just share this moment of ecstasy that you must be feeling right now. Just absolute joy, and you can hear that crowd. They're absolutely delirious. History being made, we're seeing it as it was being made in Augusta, Georgia. For the first time ever, the World Heavyweight Championship changing hands in, the home of the Masters and many others. And there you see a very dejected Harley Race, former World Heavyweight Champion. But the man, I think Mr. Crockett has proved once again, though, that Harley Race is certainly an outstanding champion. There's certainly nothing that can be taken away from that man.
Oh, that's right. He's a world-class wrestler, but I think Tommy Rich has proved that he's in the same class with Mr. Harley Race.
And so that means, obviously, Tommy, that your number one sights are set on Harley Race once again.
Well, that's exactly right, Gordon. And the thing, I guess, that makes me the proudest of all, that I did come back to Georgia, and I did win the belt right here in Georgia, and the people, just like I've said, they've been behind me 100%. And all I can say is I hope I do get another chance at Harley Race, and when it's over, I'll walk out on top.
I feel very confident by the comments from Mr. Jim Crockett, the president of the NWA, that chance will come in the very, very near future. Thanks so much. What a schedule you've been under.
Thank you, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you. James Crockett, president of the NWA, and Tommy Rich, Tommy Wildfire Rich. We'll be back in a minute.